All right, good morning. Yeah, I know it's only 8:13. Let's start early for once, huh? So welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 21,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of planning our trades in advance because trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Let's go! Okie dokie. Okie dokie dokie. Let me get all the resources. I have resources up the yin yang. Uh, where is everything? Where did it go? Hang on, I got so many pages open. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna have to log in directly. So, what you see here is the Trader's Way MT4 platform with my chart templates. And we're also going to use traders.com. You get it? Trader's Way, TRADARS.com. Yep. Cool. So let's start the process. Now I got to bring the live thing back. Where did it go? So many things. Life is so complicated. Yeah, where did the live stream actually go? It's funny. So many pages. Is it over here? No, I think so. No. That off. Where did you hang on? I can't find the live stream. And it's not that important, Wayne. Oh, well, it is. There it is. All right. All right. Yeah, cold start, huh? Yeah, that's how it goes. So, anywho, let's start with an update, right? You want a routine. So let's get an update on all the headline news that have come out just in the last few minutes.
We are confident in success of tariff ruling appeal. Hasset. Forex Live European FX News Wrap. Markets continue to digest court ruling on Trump tariffs.
Mexican peso seesaws as U.S. dollar bulls return ahead of the release of Banxico minutes. Crypto today, BTC, ETH post mild gains as court ban of Trump tariffs cheers risk markets. Pepe price forecast. Pepe eyes a range breakout amid improving sentiment after President Trump's post. Hungary trade surplus shrinks in April.
FBS leads the way with the Best Trading Conditions 20 T5 award. Euro SHA US dollar returns to levels near 1.1300 as US dollar strength fades. US dollar Swiss franc price. Forecast rejection at 0.834. Bring 0.82 C5 support into focus.
Yen recovering into NA session with focus on trade talks. Scotiabank.
Coolio. So there's an update. Nothing's right. I'm torn. You know what? Well, I'm at it. Yeah, that's fine. We'll do that. All right. Cool. Yeah, so what's on the calendar? Well, in 11 minutes, we have weekly jobless claims. Okay. And in 11 minutes, we have GDP. I believe it's preliminary, so it's the one that gets revised multiple times. Coolio. Yeah, oh, for sure. Anything else going on today? Well, this is a way to kind of, right? This is a way to kind of look into the week and find out which volatility events offer opportunities. GDP in 10 minutes. Yep, it offers that. Tomorrow, we have a couple opportunities in the European session. And then we got Canadian GDP, ISM manufacturing. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But that's next week. Yeah, Jolt's next week. So obviously, we're getting ready for NFP. Yeah, way, 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 way out there. Cool. So, anywho, scalping radar. I don't want to spend much time, but these are things that are happening right here, right now. A little bit. That took a minute. And, I mean, I suppose you could look at it and say what's going on in the stock indices right now. And nothing going on. Yeah, not in the U.S. market anyway. So these are all pullbacks. Fine, fine. Any moves going on? And ooh, the 10-year coming down, 109, and then some up. That is actually good. Up, down, and up would be great. That would bring down the yield, which I need this to go up because I own it. I want the price to go up. Anyways, cool. Volatility, you should have already gone through this and planned your implied vol for your setups. So, for example, if we were going to look at the S&P 500, that you should know if you're a bull or a bear, whether it's S&P 500, NASDAQ, or Dow, you should already know. None of this is going to give you a decision to, like you need to know. This is why we have fundamentals. So, for example, I am watching this come down. I have it on all lined up on my charts, but I'm very interested in this area. And now I'm concerned we're heading down to that area. But the way that you use your implied vol tool which is a completely different process of, is this going to dip or is it not going to dip? What you're looking at is this range. This time of day on Thursdays, the Dow typically stays within that range. Meaning you could, it's not the only thing you should be looking at, but you could have a day plan. But this doesn't tell you should be buying a dip. That just tells you, okay, the 4-hour projected high was achieved. And in this time period, it'd be very unusual for Dow to get any lower than that based on what it does on Thursday, this time of day. So maybe when this volume comes back, we kick off the 1-hour low and take it north. Will it? I don't know. That's why you got to combine this with technical analysis. I would have liked to have had it do this role reversal, but that would be unusual based on our statistical analysis. So anyways, we got that in real time. It updates every 15 minutes, whether you refresh your page or not, for every asset that you trade. Yeah. Oh my God. For every day of the week, every hour of the day. And every hour and every 4-hour and every daily is updated every 15 minutes. So it's not Thursdays, it's the next 24 hours. Oh my God, it's really cool. Yes, it is. It is really cool. Pound yen's got a lot of bid going on in the media. USD Swiss franc getting very negative. I've noticed the Swiss franc is quite strong. Pound dollar's got some bid. Okay. Euro pound, more ask than bid, so they're more selling than buying. So you could interpret this, at least in the media, is the media favors the pound. Okay, favors the pound versus yen. Actually, this is oops. Fat finger. Favors pound over dollar, favors pound over euro. And remember, this is not charts, this is not fundamentals, this is media, sentiment. So in theory, the media has read the fundamentals, and it has read the charts, and has something intelligent to say. But that's not guaranteed. This is just what they write. Okay. Dollar looks pretty weak as well. Euro over dollar. Okay. Yen over dollar. Aussie over dollar. Okay. CAD. Well, actually, CAD is even worse. Okay. Kiwi over dollar. So the only thing weaker than US dollar, see, pound over dollar, is Swiss franc and Canadian dollar. Well, Swiss franc is typically, more of a risk-off play or money moving back to Europe. But CAD is weak. That's all I could say. Kitty cat. Oh my goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. Okay, so taking a look. Yeah, lots of bullishness. I'm looking for this to come down, but I think it's going to go up before it comes down. But we're looking at, remember we looked at the ZN. The ZN is the 10-year T-note. It's got a bearish channel with an upward move. So, for example, we saw a price on the 10-year T-note doing this, so we have it as a down trend. But if you recall, it seems to be breaking out, and we have an upside target like that. So what we see is a change in direction. So if it can do this and then continue that, we would now have an upward bullish move on the 10-year T-note, which would drive prices down. Right now, you can see prices yield went up, which means the yield went up because it was falling in this down channel. Up is good. So that might happen today. Yeah. But we got the issue with the judicial system versus Trump tariffs. We also have Nvidia going on. There's a lot of things going on in the markets today, and so be ready for a little bit of everything. GDP in just a couple of minutes. In fact, we should probably zip over there. Okay. We got 2 minutes. Let's go back. Yeah, let's just get ready for that GDP and weekly claims.
The U.S. dollar is little change after run higher on ending
Wait,
Trump.
we got 2 minutes. We could probably still jump. Let's see what else we can do in 1 minute. Okay. So we'll see if we can get a correction here. I think you can see the odd one out. So this is US GDP. So we'll see if we can get something better than that. Okay, so keep that in mind. We're averaging 2-ish, so -3, negative 0.3 is not ideal. So now we go over here, and this is the preliminary GDP too.
Reuters poll ECB to cut rate to 2.00% on June 5th. The U.S. dollar is little change after run higher on ending Trump Liberation Day tariffs fizzles. WH Economic Advisor Hassett, confident in success of tariff ruling appeal.
All right, 59 seconds, y'all. Weekly claims. We have that data too. In fact, I probably still have time to show it because you have quick and easy. Okay, so we're averaging 224. Fed kind of wants to see that slightly rising. Still 25 seconds to go. So now you've seen GDP, you've seen weekly claims. Now you know where we stand. I'm going to watch the GDP number here. Negative 0.2. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, wait. Where's our claims to 240? Oh, that could actually be interpreted as good in the sense that we could be a little bit closer to a Fed cut this year. So we expected 229, got 240, and that is above average. So that's people applying for unemployment insurance. Okay. Slowing down of the economy, plus a GDP that's no so good. Okay. So be very interesting how this gets interpreted. The way that you can convert this into interpretation, of course, is just pull up the data and see what smart money is doing with this. And so I think what you want to look at is both September and December. Okay. Right now, when it gets to September, 59% chance of a cut. Now, if this increases, that's good. Well, Richard says, okay, 2 quarters of negative GDP. Maybe, but is it it's one of these things. If it's self-induced, is it a recession or is it a consequence of negotiation? If there was no, so I guess we could argue over this, but it'd be like if there were no tariffs, then we wouldn't have a recession. But you're like, I don't care why. If the tariffs were self-induced, it's self-induced. Doesn't matter if you shoot yourself in the foot, you're going to bleed out. Okay, but the thing is that could quickly be fixed, let's say by just getting rid of tariffs or doing the opposite, making free trade, and then suddenly, boom, we have a massive economy. So it's more like just because you're choking the hose doesn't mean there's not water pressure, right? There's no water coming out of the hose. Well, you've bent the hose in half. If you just straighten the hose again, the water's going to come, right? So does the Fed? So I guess this is what I'm trying to say. Does the Fed need to jump in and cut interest rates to save our financial souls? Well, it depends on why the economy is slowing down. Okay. Well, Naomi, I'm at TRADARS. If I'm not on YouTube, I'm on TRADARS.com. All right. So, anyways, so now we're going out to December, and there's a 91% chance between today and December that there's a cut. Cool. So what you want to track today is if this number is growing, that's a good thing. Yeah, for sure, Naomi. Okay, so yeah, if this is going up, that's a good thing. And that typically means dollar weakness. Okay, are they going to cut in June? No. Okay, are they going to cut in July? No. 77.6% chance right now that ain't going to happen. What about September? Yeah. Canada current account registered at 2.3B above expectations, 3.25B in 1Q. United States initial jobless claims came in at 240K above expectations, 230K in May 23rd. U.S. initial jobless claims 240K versus 230K expected.
U.S. Q1 second estimate. GDP 0.2% versus 0.3% expected.
United States initial jobless claims 4-week average down to 230.75K in May 23 from previous 231.5K. United States core personal consumption expenditures, QOQ, came in at 3.4% below forecasts, 3.8% in 1Q. Cool, right? See, all of those articles came out in the last 3 or 4 minutes, and it just updated you. It broke down initial jobless claims and GDP, not just telling you the headline number, but also extrapolated PCE out of, right? Out of the GDP report. Cool. You didn't have to do jack. Didn't have to take your eyes off the charts. Now you're updated. Nice tool. I know. So anyways, later today, this will be updated. We will pull it out of the U.S. government data. So it's how quickly they update their database. Oops, clicked the wrong button. So you can watch this throughout the day, but cool. You already. Okay, so let's go through our new routine. Always got the new routine. I get it. I got it. I know it's good. My rhymes are tight. You wish you could. Yeah. All right. Sorry. Can't help myself. All right. So let's go and get ready for the Euro USD. Euro USD. Tell me. Okay. Are you a bull or bear? Today. Let's do that. Boop, 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 boop. Go ahead. Answer it. Again, it shouldn't take you 20 minutes, should it? Oh, I don't know, Wayne. That depends. Fail. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's see where we are. Okay, looking at this, we have 80%, 74%, 81%, no, 74. You got, are you guys changing? All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm going to end. All right. So there we go. Euro dollar, 72% of y'all, all y'all, are bullish on the euro dollar today. So let's take a look and see what we got. Thank you for participating in the poll. And well, all right. So we had a bad GDP, which is probably could, which weakens the US dollar, which is a good thing. But you always have to put everything into context. People have already made the play here. They're expecting the bullish. And then they've here. And then the news came out. Okay. And if you recall, I think it was the Dow, I had this, right? So we did that pre-news. And okay, so you can see euro dollar is weakening. And that's a good thing. And why is it a good thing? Because going through the fundamentals, the bad news is good because it allows the Fed to cut twice this year, not just once. So it puts September on the table, not just these, which is December. So risk on. Very interesting. So where are we in the bigger context? Okay. Let's go even further out. Where are we on this? And what this chart says is we should be able to get, of course, should, could, would. Well, you know what? Let me use my drawing tools. Okay. That we have. Is that
U.S.
black?
initial jobless claims increased to 240K last week.
Oil prices advance as U.S. court blocks Trump tariffs.
So that's what we're thinking. You know, does it have the legs to get euro dollar up to the June projected high? Because remember, that's our projection for the June high. And it's, yeah, it might be able to. So this week, this month wasn't a great month. It was okay. This is a buy. This is a buy. Obviously, you can see that's a buy. Did we get to target? No, we didn't even get close to target. So you'll notice that this target is actually pulled in because we didn't hit May's target. So June's target is a little easier to hit. So this is kind of like on a higher time frame, a bigger reload, which may or may not basically just get us to the previous. That's what the chart says. Cool. So yeah, is it sort of a rangy breakout kind of thing? Yep. So what is that? 115.5. So 200 pips left. Okay. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's take a look at the S&P 500. Okay, let me ask you a question. Nope, wrong. Plus poll. There we go. Will the S&P 500 go up today? Pretty specific there. Okay, go ahead. Specifically S&P 500, you have to think about risk on. You have to think about correlation, like if the Fed cuts, is that good for the S&P 500? If Nvidia earnings was great, yes, that's good for Nasdaq, but will that impact the S&P 500 in a positive way or a negative way? Lots to think about. All right. I'm going to end the poll. All right. So will the S&P 500 go up today? 66% of you said yes. 33% said no. So let's go to our charts and see what's up. So you guys are bulls. So I'm going to move my biased pivots to bullish mode. Update the chart. There's today's buy zone. Wait, is it today? Double check. Which one's the bullish mode? Daily. Okay, yeah, there's the daily buy zone. We're in a 5-minute chart. So based on, the TRADARS trading methodology, if you will, this is today's buy zone. This is today's target. So today is already dead. It's already dead. You walked into New York and people already made money in Asia on this. So we're really setting up tomorrow, which is the proper way to trade. Tomorrow's buy zone is here. There's a little bit of a role reversal going on. So what you look at is this is where we are now, and this is between today and tomorrow, the day trade for the S&P 500. Okay? Now, the danger, of course, is if you're a bear, you're going to treat it like a double top. No, you're not a bear, but some are bears. And this is what they're eyeballing for June. But TRADARS will show you that even though that's possible, it's unusual this time of year. If it was July or August, I might agree with you. But it's not July or August. It's May going into June. So you would have to look at your seasonality tool, which is really easy with TRADARS, right? And you can say, hey, TRADARS, give me some seasonality on the S&P 500. Right? I'm not going to do it, but I'll show you where it is. You just go to your seasonality tool, and you're like, what does the S&P 500 typically do? Okay, and not down. See, just like that. Boom. So I'm like, okay, it could fall, but that'd be unusual. So I'd like it to rise a little more before it falls. So that would be the follow-on plan if you were a bull. That you're going to overcome the bears. It will make a higher high, but will it happen today or will it take 10 days? Well, that's the part we don't know, but you shouldn't be tripping all over yourself trying to figure out what to do if you know what's normal. We call that seasonality. If you think all of this is a random walk,
U.S. GDP dips slightly less than previously estimated in Q1.
Gold gains as U.S. dollar falls back. U.S. court strikes down Trump's tariffs.
U.S. weekly jobless claims rise more than expected.
Yeah, news coming out hot and fast, huh? All right, so how about the pound yen? Are you trading it? You like the beast? Too dangerous for you. Well, let me ask you. Will you buy pound yen today? Now that's even more specific, right? So not only are you interested, are you thinking about it? Are you looking to do it? Okay, Evans, use the voting form. Right on, Derek. Yeah, I did that myself. Huh? The smarty pants, huh? Richie got stopped out. Yeah, it happens. Well, that looks like a double top, huh? It looks like a double top, smells like a double top, then it's a double, right? All right. Well, I'm going to go and I'm going to go ahead and end this. All right. Cool. So 50-50. Nobody really knows. There's no clear direction on pound yen today in our community. Well, that's important because most likely you reflect the broader market as well. And you can see if I back out even further, I do have it lined up as well, okay, as non-directional, and that we are at a top of the range. And yes, we would like, if you remember the conversation from a week ago, yes, we would love for something like this to happen. Wouldn't that be great? The thing is, we have tools that show us that that's not probable. Oh, so if you're using your research tools properly, you'll probably see that there's pretty significant resistance there when you line up not just technicals, but quantitative analysis of macroeconomic flows. Oh, so if you were more bearish on it, it does make sense. And you might be thinking bottom of the range. Well, we don't know if that's true. And if you're a bull, you're going to kind of, I guess, ignore the triple, quadruple top and buy here and go there, which may or just get you to the top of the bigger range, which is this range. Okay. There's the inside and the outside range. Yeah, that's cool. And then what? That's probably what the market's going to think, right? Some who says BOJ dovish on the yen. Dovish on the yen or dovish on the Japanese economy? Those are two radically different things. Okay, so anywho, you can see that, well, the market is uncertain, and you guys are uncertain, and that I would give you a thumbs up for that. That makes a ton of sense. So here we are hanging out. Where would a bull buy if you were a bull and you were going to try to break the top? Okay, that's a great question. Let's say on this 4 hour, this would be sort of your last chance for the day. Yeah. If you're wrong, we're going to come down to the center or even lower, M2. So if you're wrong, if you're a bull, your first op is here, your second op is here. If you're a bear, well, where were you? Where were you if you were a bear? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool, right? Oh, I know. Oh, for sure. Cool. You guys want to do some oil? Let's get oily. Okay, so let me do a poll. Are you bullish on oil? Yes or no? Say easy. So my WTI.
Pound sterling gains against U.S. dollar. Trump's tariffs hit legal roadblock. W.H. Navarro on Bloomberg. There is no question this is an economic emergency.
Oh, yeah. Negative GDP, increasing claims. This is an emergency. We're going to need Fed cuts. So this is where it's going to get interesting as they battle that out. Two different parts of the government. Richard says higher interest rates is killing the economy. Or you mean Japan? Yeah, probably Japan. Yeah, here we don't have evidence of that. All right, will you guys vote? Why does it take so long? Honestly, I have no clue why in 12 seconds we don't have everyone vote. mean, it's been, what, a minute, and like 17 people have voted out of 54? Like, what are you, watching TV? No, this is where you actually do things. You come to Forex.Today to get the important work done. Click the freaking poll. Take a risk. Jump. Take a leap of faith. Let's go. Gee whiz. You're either bullish or you're not. I didn't put an I don't know because you should know. Oh, but Wayne, I only trade euro dollar. What is wrong? Because even if you only trade euro dollar, you're going to be mediocre if you don't know what's going on in the globe. So if you don't understand the GDP part, if you don't understand the potential for the Fed cutting, if you don't understand the direction of capital flow around oil or whatever, it's like, dude, then you can't trade euro dollar. Okay? Okay? All right, cool. So, anywho, thank you for those that took a giant leap of faith and anonymously answered a poll on YouTube. Thank you for your strength. And survey says 70% are not bullish on oil. Let's go take a look and see what the charts say. All right, so non-directional, but what I did, early last week, is I put a Trump put here, which means not lower than this, or at least if it goes lower, the U.S. government starts buying it up. And look at that. So far, that's been quite an amazing coincidence, huh? Yeah, quite an amazing coincidence. So, neat. So does that make you a bull? Well, technically, this is not bullish. Now, I don't have moving averages. I'm just using price action. I'm not using pivot points. I'm only using price action. There's a lot of things I'm not doing here. But one of the benefits of changing your charts around is I actually want you to look at this and say, oh, my God, I get the price action part, but I really wish we had moving averages. Or, oh, my God, I get the price action part, but I really wish we had weekly or monthly pivot points. Yeah, smart. So therefore, if you're missing them, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. What you don't need is stuff you're not actually paying attention to. So if you're not using your MACD, kill your MACD. If you can't do the math on the RSI, why do you use it? I don't know. RSI is magic to me, and it just seems to be, no. You don't understand it, get rid of it. Oh, well, my YouTube guru. No, fire your YouTube guru. I'm not your YouTube guru. I'm just teaching you how to trade. Yeah. All right, cool. So anyways, boom, boom, boom. And so we're working that out. So right now, we're in the sort of the median of a range. And normally, you would look if you were going to be a bull, because remember, I asked you if you were going to be a bull. Okay? Then if you were going to be a bull, you want to look for something more like this. Okay? Now you could be a bull, and you would connect this, or TRADARS on the technical radars would connect it like this. But you probably don't have something like that. Okay? Not on the bigger time frame. Question is, do you have it on the smaller time frame? Dude, that is so easy when you have the tools. Oh yeah, my God, that's so easy. Well, let's filter this. So going to commodities, I only want to see WTI, and I only want to see trending and reversal patterns. I don't want to see anything else. And oil, more bearish. Oil, more bearish. Oil, more bearish. Oil, more bearish than bullish. So if you're going to use your technical radar, so like if you're a bear, that means something might be setting up, and later today or tomorrow you'll be taking this down. If you're a bull, definitely not now. See, remember that technical patterns don't tell you what to do. You should already know if you're a bull or a bear. So if you were a bull, you're like, okay, I don't see a trending channel to confirm my bullishness. Okay, great. So you just wait because fundamentally you're a bull or a bear. Now, bears already know they're bears. Okay. And they see the trend like this. And now you're using your technical radars at traders.com to say, well, right now, this looks most probable. I put this stuff here because I believe fundamentally the U.S. government is going to buy the dip. So I'd rather be a bull down here. Okay. Let me show you. Bulls up buy its support, right? That's it. Bulls don't buy anything else. They buy bottoms or higher lows. Okay. So like if you bought down here, great, but that's not where we are now. So a bull could buy here. Okay. A bull could buy here still, a little late, or really the breakout pullback with the trade plan of something like that is by far the most ideal. Okay. Or the trade plan here. So we're right in the middle and closer to the top of this range, which would favor bears. So congratulations. Good job. I think your analysis is good. Okay. Who wants to do some Bitcoin? Okay. Let's do a poll. What is your bias for Bitcoin today? Let me mix this up again. Almost done. Okay. Let's see what's on your mind. Let's get some community sentiment. Okay, let's see. You guys voting? Yeah. Sure do wish you voted faster. I'd like to just get to 30. Normally, I'd wait to 30 because it's more statistically relevant. But well, good enough, I guess. Okay, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Today, 64% of the Forex.Today community is bullish, not very bullish, bullish on Bitcoin. So let's take a look and see what we can see. This is a 15-minute chart. And once again, I have different setups. I'm just trying to show you that there's plenty of different ways that you can be looking at any of these assets. And okay, we see a low, a lower low, okay, a higher low, but after a higher high, which is a form of inverse head and shoulders, right? And now a new higher high. So what should you be doing? Well, again, just on this 15-minute chart, you might want to look at higher time frames first. But you want to do like a fib of this area, and you're going to find like a support zone. You also want to do like role reversal stuff, which ends up getting you the same
data, but you're just doing it with a different technique. And then, of course, today's target, you should have already known in Asia to have bought all of this. So you should have been in since yesterday already. And if so, your target, okay, this is the conservative target for today, back to basically 1. So this is your sort of last chance for New York. Okay, last chance for New York. And the thing is, if you're a bull, that's your trade plan for today. Just today. You can go further out, but that's what it says. Now, the other reason I use this chart, okay, is this is a great time of day for trading. This is a great time of day for trading. So you have sort of the Asia Open, okay, the European Open, okay, and the U.S. Open. So Asia, Europe,
South Africa's SARB interest rate decision
America.
in line with expectations, 7.25%. Russia's central bank reserves, Dow, 678.5B, 667.5B. Cyprus industrial production grows 1.9%.
U.S. stocks may see initial strength as court blocks Trump's tariffs.
See, all that news just came out while we're trading. Okay, so we got our 50% pullback. Okay, maybe you take it north. Now, yes, you're right when it comes to, you can also have TRADARS do a lot of the heavy lifting for you technically. Okay, Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we want to look for trending and reversal patterns only. And amazingly, there's nothing right now on. Maybe it's just slow to load. I don't know. I don't think so. But there's no pattern on the 15-minute chart, no pattern on the 30-minute chart, no pattern on the hourly chart, no pattern on the 4-hour chart, and no pattern on the daily chart. Not yet. So you can sit and wait for that, or you can sit and wait and prepare here. Okay, so what I was showing you is, since most of you are already bulls, you should be aware of where on the map you are and where on the map you're going. Okay, I would suggest, if you're going to use this type of analysis, that we're going to go to a 1382, which puts us basically 115. 115. Yeah, at the all-time high. All right, so that's that. We got time for some gold. You guys want to do some gold with me? Cool. Okay, gold will go up, sideways. How about up, flat? It's got to be faster. Down. Okay, good. What are you guys thinking about gold for today? Okay, boom, 35 people just answered. Should be the reality. Once again, if you don't know these basic questions, this is your number one challenge as a trader. You're like, well, it depends. I have to open my chart and I have to look at 5 time frames and I have to look at what the MACD is doing and I have to count the waves and then what about my CCI or my VWAP or like, dude, seriously? You don't even know if you're a buyer or seller? Well, good luck with that. How can you be a success if you don't even know if you're a buyer or a seller? And why? Before you even open a chart. Oh, the chart says down, so I'm going to sell. Oh, the chart says up, so I'm going to buy. Really? All right. Well, you do you. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, let's see. 52% of you want gold to go up. Gold, bull, gold, bull. Can you see the chart? What do you want to do with your gold? Good time of day to be trading gold. Okay, you got the time of day correct. Okay. The gray zone is Asia open. Makes a higher high, so you look for a roll reversal, which happens at the European. That's what this overlap is. That's the European open. That's the Asia close. So one of the best times to trade is this time right here. Yeah, and you're already a bull. It double bottomed in Asia, made a higher high, and then did a higher low on a roll reversal at London Open. That's all you need. Okay, how about this? Okay, higher high, higher low on the Asia close. Here's the next one. Cool. So the trick now is it's already gone up. The first opportunity for the New York traders is to sell high. Well, we don't want that. Well, but you could get it, and it's a good time of day to do it. But you're bull, and you don't swing both ways like a broken gate. So you probably want to look at where the moving averages are in the higher time frame. So same sort of roll reversal going on here on the high time frame. It's this one or that one. You could fib this on the higher time frame. Once again, 50%, that gets us to 3,500, 3460, 3460. If you got this right. So if you're a bull, okay, now you can see we've had a full day today.
U.S. Flash Q1 GDP growth rate came in at 0.2%.
Okay, we've already had a bullish day, which means if you walk into New York and you haven't done anything all day, you've already screwed it all up. Pardon my French. Because you were supposed to plan this yesterday. Okay, great. So don't be shocked if there's some down now, because that's what's presented. But at some point, this is what you should be looking at now. If it breaks higher, then you can get a dip. And most ideally, we're not going to make a lower low than this. And ideally, we don't make a lower low on the 4 hour. So you're really kind of fibbing the last 4 hours and then hope that the market open, which is occurring in 15 minutes, take this north. Okay? Now, I'll give you a little hint here. My favorite time of the day for trading gold as someone that lives in the United States, in particular in the Eastern time zone, this is the best time of day for trading gold. Always has been, always will be. And then I say by 10 a.m., usually you got at least 2/3 of the daily move. Meaning those that log in at the open in New York, which is now like, I'm only talking about like the next 30 minutes, is usually the lion's share of the day's move is already done, which means this is likely profit taking, and amateur traders are just getting into the game, and you're a bull. Now you might be a bear. I'm like, okay, well, go ahead and trade the profit take. What I'm hoping for, if I was a bull, is like down to here and no more than down to there. Okay. Ideally, you keep it above the 4 hour candle. So let's go into that. And so let's say your inside trade, meaning, kind of like intraday market open type thing, would be a moderate continuation that would look like, you don't want it lower than the 4 hour, and you're trying to get a little bit of a high because you're a bull. So down into the moving averages and then up. Could be. Could be. Okay? Could be. That's right. The 6 to 7 a.m. Yeah. Usually, like, you start at 6 to do your analysis. By 7:15, you're already in your trade based on your analysis. And then by now, you've moved your stop to break even in your hero or zero in particular at the open. And let's say then you get a giant spike at the open and it jumps up and it gets you to your 1382, or it gets you to your daily pivot target, gets you to a weekly resistance, gets you to whatever you're aiming at. If you're just doing market opens or day trading, you take your money and run. If you're swing trading, don't worry about it. Yeah. So how cool is that? So thank you. Thank you for today. Thank you for your time. The stock market's about to open. Hopefully I got you ready, willing, able, excited, and informed. Once again, all our fundamental and sentimental and pattern recognition tools are all offered at traders.com. Each of these are radars for traders, and we use the MT4 trading platform with all my chart templates and stuff through tradersway.com. It's a really good combo. Why don't you swing by traders.com? And at 4 p.m., I guess I should show that. Where is it? Okay, at 4 p.m., y'all, let's go to the training schedule. Okay, today at 4 p.m., I have the swing trading group where we plan out all of next week. And then tomorrow morning, I will be at FX Street. So make sure you add it to your calendar, RSVP, so you get the link sent to you. And then tomorrow afternoon, well, I guess late tomorrow morning, Brian's going to cover crypto. And then Friday afternoon, after the COT data is released, Meta's going to cover that with you. So between now and the end of Friday, there are multiple things going on. Boom, 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 boom. Busy, busy, busy. Okay. Great. So that's us. Hope to see you on the team. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. And have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful trading day.